Yeah, hey, good evening, sports fans. Welcome to a LunchHammer painting. I am almost ready to get started. I just need to put on the little gloves for your protection and mine. There we go. And then the second little guy. And as you can see today, we're going to paint a Kharn the Betrayer. Because, as everyone knows, when life gives you lemon, blood for the blood god, right? And life gave us lemon last week because I was sick, and sadly Thursday is the only day that I had to make up for actual work, so I could not stream. So, we missed it. We missed a week, but that's okay, because we're here, we're back, and we got this bad boy right here to paint, so that's cool. And so as usual, I bought this second hand, and the difference between this one and a couple that we did in the past is usually we try to keep something that we like, if we like it, or we start over on these, these eBay rescue type thing. But this guy, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the red is it's on there, it's pretty thick. So I don't think we can. Oh yeah, look at this plate here. You can see it looks like a. It's not silky smooth, but it's pretty cool because there's already a highlight and shading a little bit. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to salvage the red. We're going to keep this red as is. So it's going to be maybe a little shorter stream, but we're going to use the fact that we're saving time because we don't have to do the red to put more details onto the rest of the mini, more work, right? So I think that's a cool idea. And maybe we'll add some highlight. Now the drawback is I have no clue, how that red was done, right? Because I didn't buy this; it's not mine, so I have no idea how it was done. So we have to be very neat, right? We cannot be too messy because I don't know how to fix it. So that's gonna be our challenge today, and we're gonna start with the cables and stuff. I think that's going to be our best course of action here. Hey, buddy. Oh, Parabellum joining me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't think I've ever painted one of these. He's a pretty cool dude. He's he's jacked up. He's got he's rocking the sleeveless, or one sleeveless. Oh, he's got the one sleeveless, so just one arm hanging out. Alright, so we're going to start with the cables in the back here. And we're going to be careful about this. So the reason I start with this is that first of all, it's the one where we have the most leeway. Because it's the one we have the most leeway because there's nothing really else that's done, and there's also a couple of connectors that we can, if we fail at this color, we'll just we'll just finagle it with the other connectors and whatnot. We'll paint silver or something. So we're kind of already planning for mistake, because that's a big part of it, right? We plan for mistake. Hopefully we don't make any, but. If we go that we have to be perfect, well, then at best we're perfect, but more than likely we're gonna fuck up at some point. Whereas if we figure out that we're probably gonna mess up, then the worst case is that we're wrong and we did not mess up. But the best case is, well, we were ready for any mistake that might happen. So I bought a plethora of heroes, by the way. I don't know if you're... at this point, we cannot fudge it up. Correct. We have to be careful on the red. Well, the idea is that if we don't do any shading or highlight now, and we keep these to much later in the painting process, we can use our highlights and shading to kind of mask off any mistake that we make. Mayor Khan, the Destroyer of London. No. No. This one is the Betrayer. It's not the Destroyer. This one is the Betrayer. He's a different issue. They all have problems. Just this one's different. Yes, I bought like a plethora of heroes. So we're gonna have so we have, what do we have? We have a Slanesh Demon Prince that we could do. We have a Nurgle Demon Prince that we did one already recently in the stream. But we can do a different one. We have the not the lion, the small guy that's in the lion's army. The what's his face? The Dark Angel guy. Um, the guy that was in charge before Lion came back. The God damn it, the guy. Anyway, don't you guys keep your secret. You don't have to tell me. It's fine. And then there's also like a Dead Guard character that I bought. Maybe I keep, maybe I sell. I don't know too much. The Lord Felthius. We got that one. And then we might also do some Grand Cathay characters because we got those as well in here. They're for commissions, but we might get to some point where we want to do heroes for that commission. So lots of cool projects, and that's if I don't purchase anything, which we all know was gonna happen because can't resist me some sweet deals. Azrael, yes, Azrael, thank you. Okay, there we go. Azrael, that's our guy. Azrael. Well, it could be our guy. I don't know. We haven't decided yet. Oh wait, there's a. Hold on. There's like double sound or something. Please hold. Aha. I don't know if you guys were getting like echo or something, or the sound thing was acting weird on my end, so should be fixed. If anybody in chat can let me know right now, is sound okay? Because sometimes you go, oh, I'll fix it, and then you try to fix it, and then you just break it even more, right? So I feel like that's like my life as a streamer. It's, oh, guys, don't worry, I'll fix it, and then everything is worse. Oh yeah, these like cables are really weird. They go like in the mouth of the mouth of the backpack. That's odd. Well, the little skulls are not gonna stay red, that's for sure. So we can. Cheat a little bit. And by cheat, I mean we can be like sloppy. And then do we do this little like the ribbon or what, like the grip, like the hockey tape, right, on the axe? Do we do that in this color as well, or we keep it for? I think maybe we do that thing and these little thingies in like turquoise. It feels very Games Workshop-ish, right? But we could do black just because it's an eBay miniature, and then maybe want to sell it on the eBay, and painting random bits of the corn guy turquoise is not a great selling point. We'll leave it undone for. Oh wait, there's one on the. Haha. Of course, there's a cable protruding from his arm. Why wouldn't there be? What a weird question. We'll do these little belts as well. These little suspenders. Because the alternative is that these things we paint in silver, and I don't think that's gonna look. Oh no! Well, no, it wouldn't be bad. We could have painted those in silver. Yeah, well, yeah, it wouldn't have been like a terrible, like a tragedy. Yeah, it's definitely an option, but we're not gonna do that. Okay, so that's step one. I think cables for the cables god. Yeah, exactly. All right, do we go to Trim City, or do we do the silver first and then we go to Trim City? The one like last kind of like part that I'm not too sure is the inside of his axe, which I'm leaning towards not painting in gold, but I could see it gold. Because we could do it all silver and then just do blood effects, and then putting the inside in a different color is just why would we bother? Because the cool thing about the axe becomes the blood effect, not the details. Or we could do the inside silver and then the kind of the trim in gold, but I think that's a mistake. This is an interesting. Let's do trims, because first of all we're gonna use a color that I haven't used in a while and that I really like. So that's gonna be a fun one, and we're gonna use Rune Lord Brass here, because you know brass is like the corn color. And also this is a pretty smooth color, and it covers really well with one pass, so that's kind of perfect for a guy that's like not the best. Our dude is not in the best like shape, so having a color that we don't need to do multiple passes is going to be great, because we don't want to do too many coats, because it's already. It's already laid on there pretty thick, right? And we're not. This is not cake frosting. This is miniature painting. However, you know, cake frosting with Max could be like a fun little series that we can look into. Like if there's demand, you know, we'll look into it. But right now we'll focus on miniature painting. The fuck is this detail? Look at like the inside of the backpack. It's so weird. It's like not sculpted or covered. It's hard to tell. Okay. Okay. Well, let's keep. Yeah, let's keep doing these trims. I mean, since the red's already done, realistically, the trim is like 90% of what we're doing right, or like today, right? Because like this guy is like 50% trim at this point. Um, let's put a pin in this for the skull, because these things this is like too much red, but also if we paint them all gold, it's probably too much gold, so we're kind of in a pickle for. So we're gonna do other parts. You know, I talked about this in the video. I think it was last week or the week before. Like the non-negotiable parts of the mini, and then we can kind of figure out stuff later. Bang. Okay. And as usual, I'm being very chaotic in what area we do. We did a couple of trims on the backpack, and now I'm the lower part of a leg. I think I played a game yesterday, and I think my brain is not fully recovered from it. Was one of those bigger brain situation I was not quite equipped for. It was like a hell of fun, but like it was way too much. Uh, it's like I tried to like learn like an army kind of on the fly, like as we play, but it was a very like the army was like way too complex to do that. Like I feel like even with like some practice, um, even with like some practice, you still need to think quite a lot. So that was like a rough one. Um. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's keep doing trims, boys. We're this is one new like fun thing that I've discovered recently, which is I buy these like these minis for like cheap or like the stuff that's like in a bad condition in general. Like this guy was like really cheap because the red was like if you don't plan on keeping this red, it's you have to strip this entire mini. And so it was priced like very low, but I think the red is like nice enough that once you do everything around it, if you're being like very careful, you're gonna get like a good result out of it. But and seeing the face of like people when I use their mini that they call shit and then kind of like give them a second life is really interesting. Like last week, I bought a monolith, like an old school monolith, like right the super old one with the crystal. And I kind of like not haggle, but a little bit. Like I haggled with the guy that was like selling it at the store. I was like, oh, it's a shit mullet. Nobody will want it. And then they gave me a good price for it, and then I repainted it, and I showed up to play, and the guy was like, "Is that the one you bought here? This is way too cool to be our monolith." And I was like, "No, this is the one. I just repainted it." And it did the same thing with the Dante. That was a really cool one where a guy sold his Dante. Was like, "Oh, I don't like the mini. It's not well painted," and then we repainted it on stream, and then the guy that originally painted it was like, "This is a really cool Dante. I wish I did that on mine." I was like, "Well, this happens to be yours." I was like, "Oh man." So like I find like some sort of like joy in doing these like rescues or like finding out these minis that are in weird states and seeing what we can make of them. One of my friends like one of my friends, she's like, well, I have plenty of like artist friends, like the real deal, like they have like berets and stuff, I'm pretty sure, like a real fancy real artist people, which I'm not one of those. But and then what she does is sometimes she picks up like vintage items like in the trash. um like one time was like a mirror, I think, or a chair, and then she decorates it or like redecorates it or paints on it or something, and then she just like puts it back in the garbage. I was like, oh, this is found this in the trash. I made it pretty, and then I'm gonna trash it again. I thought that was like such a cool idea to do. Now, obviously, I'm a super sellout. You guys know that's why I'm not like a real artist. It's because I'm a super sellout and I sell these pieces. So I buy for cheap, I paint them, and then I sell them at like a good price on the eBay's. But I like the idea of just like art for the sake of art that she went with. But we're not gonna trash this Kharn. He's not. He didn't deserve it. I just thought it was a cool concept, like a cool idea. All right, we're slowly getting there. This is it's not the most exciting, but I think it's gonna set us up for success. Where all the time that we're doing it, we're questioning our life choices and painting so many trims. But once it's done, I think we're gonna be rewarded for our patience and dedication to the trim city. Like it's a life. You know what? It's a lifestyle. This is not like a choice you make. This is a lifestyle. You live the trim lifestyle. And the skull here in the like it's kind of like encased in the knee. So maybe we do repaint it. So let's try to not cover it up. Well, it's gonna look good in all gold. Fuck it. Yeah, it's gonna look really good in like this brass color. No, never mind. I changed my. I think it's gonna look neat. Neat o burrito. Which is just above looking fly. Okay, in the rankings of things. This is a very white man's slang type thing, right? Neato burrito followed by looking fly. That's it doesn't get much whiter than this. Okay. Brass is the way. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, well, we haven't used this color in a while. I don't think on stream we've used this brass color for the any of the of our like gold thing, which is one of my favorites. So I think Kharn is like the perfect moment to whip it out. Okay, so now we're 2 legs down, and then let's move up to the chest. Oh no, wait, apparently you have to do the front of the thing as well. Pro tip: when you paint stuff, you have to paint all of the stuff. I know, right? Like this is the quality content that people came for. Valuable insight in the mind of a pro painter. I've sold models on eBay. I'm a pro painter. This is how it works, okay? Pro just means professional. So if you've ever made money off of a painted miniature, you are a professional. Them's the rules, okay? Okay, that's gonna be challenging. That's a challenging one, folks, because I can't see shit about dick. Ouch! I knocked my world eaters. No, wait, what's WH? World. No. Whoa. What's WH? Must be like a Sigmar thing I don't know about. I don't know. Is WH brass as well? Oh, with WE. Yeah, because I even looked at the keyboard and I was like, no, the E's not nowhere near the A. Like it's not a. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, so you do the full. I like that because like big guy Angron's often painted that way, and I always thought that looked really cool, and especially now that you can paint like the full like the 8-bound army, and then you could do them all like with the reddish like skin. I love that skin. I think that's a baller scheme that you're using. I like it. If the red was not so opaque, and like if we wanted to strip it down, that might have been like a good route. Because I think the white is getting like a lot of play, or maybe just like because locally there's like 3 guys that play World Eaters like a lot, and 2 of them have a white army, so that's like really maybe my scene has ruined the white World Eaters for me, but I think brass is like a very solid choice. Okay, well let's move up. So I'm really excited for Grey Knights. I really sorry, this came out of absolutely nowhere. By the way, my brain went there for. I'm eager for the book to release. I can give them a try, paint it because I like painting. The Grey Knights were like a really fun army to paint, and so like I'm looking forward to painting some more, and also the fact that they look like a really trash. Like the book is not well received like at all. Uh, well, which it also feels like 50% of the like if the book is not completely bonkers, batshit OP, usually the reception is like it's a failure. So maybe it's just that it's just because it's not like completely like super busted, but also the fact that they're giving back heroes, like to every chapter and everything, and then the Grey Knights they just lose their two of their named characters out of the three. Um, like that's definitely like a kick in the nuts. And they didn't make Valdus into like sorry, there's two of them. There's Valdus and there's a Castle and Crow, and neither of them is like completely like jacked. Like oh this is the the guy. Like in World Eater, you have like the guy, or like Kharn is the guy, and then Angron is the other guy. But in the Codex, they're not like that. In the Grey Knights, they're not like that at all. So okay, we're making good progress on the trims, even though it's okay. Is that Kharn pretty well glued to? Oh, I think it's never coming off. Everything looks like so because like the thing here is like textured, so I didn't want to like touch anything in there. Like it looked like a piece of like usually when something is like that coated that heavily in paint, you have to assume that it's glued like to withstand like a nuclear war. It's been my experience, and when you buy secondhand stuff, if the paint is on pretty thick, you can assume that it's gonna be glued to like it's gonna be glued to withstand some damage. So also, but I didn't mind the texture. We're gonna repaint it. I don't think we're gonna keep all the. I like the sand color. Like sand is not like a go-to for me. Like it's not one of those I go like, oh, we'll put sand. I don't care. Like yellowish sand color. But for World Eaters, I really like it because it's one of those colors that work really well with skulls. And so having a base color that ties in well with like there's going to be skulls on the bases. If you're doing the collectors of skulls army, it's to me that's like a plus, right? Because I think a lot of them have them on their base. Like for some reason, Karn does not. Like he doesn't collect any skulls. He's not like a collector. But like the Bloodthirster, for example, he's like standing on a pile of little skulls. I think Ingron has like a bunch. So we're gonna do all the holes in this. We're not gonna leave them red. This would have been like an option, but I think our gold shading is gonna be more interesting than the red hole. I don't know. Well, more I don't know. It's just a different thing, I guess. And then the pistol, I guess we can. We don't really need to save. So if it gets some of that brass on it, we don't really care. Okay. There's really no detail. Oh, there's like a... Is there like a skull? Like in the back of the... Yeah, let's paint that thing in gold as well, and brass as well. I say gold, but like this color is the... You know, it's... Yeah, I think it should be brass, but I keep thinking it's gold because it's a gold-looking color. There's gold, silver, and bronze, and all other metallic colors are lies. Promoted by Big Gold to make you believe that there's more. By Big Paint. You know, it's designed to make you buy more paints. That's why they made up all these colors. Get your tinfoil hat on, everybody. We're doing this. We're diving down that rabbit hole. Let's do this little piece here. I think we'll do the inside of the axe just because I don't know how much blood I want on this mini, if any. Like having blood was like the first thought. We could also make the axe glow. We don't need to not make it glow. We also don't need to make it glow. We can leave it as like a metallic thingamabob. And we'll do the inside, like the skull situation inside there. Yeah, that's where you keep your collection. I see you. Hidden away in a safe place. Alright. We are mostly out of trims. Yeah. So maybe we do the couple of these guys here, the... I don't know what you call these. Flails or whatever. Maybe we do a couple of these in oh no, the solar panel is kind of intriguing because if we do the outside, we have to do kind of the back, and then the back becomes like this weird big chunk of gold, which would look fun. So I think we just do the inside here, and now we have to be careful. So I'm so out of frame. Super out of frame. Yeah, there's like not a detail inside of in these panels. They're like, there's texture for sure, but the details have all but gone. So yeah. Okay, I'm happy with this. Like doing the interior, I like this. I think doing the opposite would have been like a mistake. To have like all of this in like big gold panels, that would not. I don't believe in it. I think the face. Excuse me. So we'll just do this one. Okay, so I think we're all good on the trim front. Let's move to some other area. I found a new cable that was not painted. So let's maybe paint that little cable and then... Okay, next up, let's add some silver. Let's figure out. I think once we have the silver, we'll get like a much better grasp of the entire mini. because as much as like I think the trim was like the longest part, but there's like more silver areas than there are gold areas. I think because of all the like the weapons and stuff. Like it's big chunky pieces. So again, we're gonna use this here. This is the speed paint thing, the broadsword silver. And the reason I want to use this one is that it covers well and it's super liquid, so we should not... Again, the goal is to save as much of the details as possible despite the heavy... despite the heavy paint layers that are on there already. So... that's our plan. Because we'll use this and then we'll just do like highlight and a shade on top of it. Oh, that's probably a trim here on the hand that we didn't do on the glove, the gauntlet. Can I move this like here, maybe? Aha. It feels like I keep being like super close, so maybe if I just put it in the right spot where I'm painting, it might be, you know. Okay, so that's one. Now let's do this little... So just like our Morvenval, not was it last week? No, the week before. Anyway, just like our Morvenval stream, because this model is like a lot of like metallics, it's gonna look a little bit off for a while here, because just metallic with just base coats is always a little bit wonky. But as long as we know this, like we're kind of okay. Whereas we can't like really judge it by like the state that it's in. We have to assume that it will work out for us. Despite what they say about assuming, this is different. This is different. So you guys, do you guys have like a preference for next week? Do we do like what, like a demon prince? Do we do a one of our two demon princes? Do we do a Nurgle guy or do we do a Dark Angels guy? Or I feel like there's more. Oh, I have a Chaos Space Marine. We could do like a Chaos Space Marine as well, because we can do like any chapter that we want. That would be a fun one. Because then guys get to pick the Chaos Space Marine, and then we also get to choose a... Well, I guess they're not called chapter, really. They're what they warbands. What's the name of the? It's not Legion either. Is it Legion? Huh. Richard, all of them. Well, we only have one dude, so we're gonna have you know. Oh, you mean paint all of the? No, no, no. Wait, oh, wait. This is a. I don't know where you were, but that's too long of a lunch. Because we'll get to all of those eventually. Because they're, I've bought them. They're all in the pile. So, it's just a matter of Thursdays until these guys are all done. Or maybe more. I like these YouTube streams. They're really fun to do, like doing the projects. The reason I don't want to do more than one a week now is the speed at which I buy these things. It needs to, like, I don't want to run out of minis. Where so if we do like two a week, then that means I need to buy like a lot more. And right now it's working great because I just like I've kind of like shop deals like where I wait for like a bunch I wait to find like stupidly cheap ones. Um, so it's working out great. Whereas if I have to find like because right now it's like let's say four per month, right? Because it's one per Thursday. But then if we do like Thursdays and like Tuesdays, for example, well then I have to find like 8 minis per month. So the price is gonna be like I'm probably not gonna get to find as good deals. So that's the little like hurdle that I'm at right now. Um, One other thing that I thought I could get is just a bunch of new releases that would like kind of sweeten it up. So every time there's like characters that are like released, buy those and paint those on stream and sell them. But that's also uh, like you're kind of like depending on the Games Workshop, like on the Games Workshop release schedule a little bit. But I've thought about this part, to paint more minis on stream because it's fun. Especially like this, like we just do one little project like this. I really like a start to finish mini is pretty much my favorite way to stream. This silver is very dark. I'm not hearing a problem. What's wrong with buying my? Hey, that's I mean you're definitely not wrong. It's buying them at the cheap price that I'm interested in. Do you ever imagine that your minis are real people under your armor? Like one day you're painting a space marine and under the suit is Bob Barker. I imagine Bob Barker in a whole lot of like daily situations. To be fully honest with you, I like the way he congratulated people for stuff that was completely out of their control. That is a good spin, Mary. You sure showed that wheel, Mary Sue. And let's not forget that he was a crucial character in the hit movie Happy Gilmore. So R.I.P. Bob. Is he? Is he alright? Bob Barker's gone, right? I'm sorry if he's. I apologize to Bob if he's still with us. Like if he's still with us, he's like fucking 106 or something. He's like the fucking crypt keeper. That guy was old when I was like but a child. Yeah, the problem is not buying more because I buy more stuff all the time. That's not really an issue. It's for these guys. It's because I'm trying to get good deals. That way I can like sell them on eBay and make a good chunk of change, and that kind of keeps the ball rolling. But if I don't buy them for like dirt cheap, these minis, it's a little bit harder to do. Um, to keep kind of that pace going. So that's more the part that I'm like kind of consider because I have to see this as like a kind of a business. So like it's not like a real business, but kind of because it cost me like it's like time and money in the middle of the day, so we have to be somewhat smart about it. And if anybody that knows anything about me knows that smart is not like my first. Like, it's not the first thing that you assume when you talk about Max Dubois. You don't go, he's a wicked smart fella. There's many things that come before that. So yeah, but on this end, we have to be a little bit smart about this. We have to tackle this in a smart way. Because it's like character driven, right? Like, these streams is like always one like character. Like, I don't want to do like a unit of something or whatever, because it takes so much time. It's not like a fun stream. Because, like, imagine painting the trims of this guy. Like, the Kharn has like as many trims as like any other berserker, if you think about it. Is just is are more detailed maybe, or he has like slightly bigger like pauldrons, but he has like the same amount of trim. So imagine doing that, but then doing it 10 times in a row. Like, it's such a boring stream. Like, even with somebody like me that has like diarrhea of the mouth, that just like keeps on talking and talking and talking, it's just terrible. Maybe even more so, because at some point, like, I run out of things to say, and then the nonsense really comes out, and then that's not, you know. Okay. Oh, we didn't do the frickin' skull. I said we'll keep the skulls for later and think about it, but we just fucking gave up on them, didn't we? And by we, I mean me, of course. You guys didn't do. You guys did nothing wrong. Don't worry about it. So I think, well, yeah, maybe we'll add some. Oh, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we'll do the skulls in silver, and then we'll probably do the top trim, or the top, like, he's got like kind of a mohawk vibe to the skulls. We'll do that part in gold. I think that's solid. Because I don't think doing the skulls in like actual skull color would add anything to this miniature. Right. So we're in a good place right now, because like all of our colors are like pretty much on there, you know. We got at least one like trim issue. Also, you know what we need? We need coffee. Let's get that. And then we can slowly start to think about that base of ours. Because again, I think this, I like the sand color. It has a lot of good uses. We're definitely, like, we're not keeping this for sure. Like, we're gonna, even if we do sand colored sand like yellow, we're gonna redo that. But because we could also do gray. Like, gray is like such a good catch-all. It just, you know, it just works. And there's a little rock on there. Like, he's got the tactical rock, like, podium to start with, like these runners, like he's at the fucking Olympics. The blocks, yeah, the starting blocks. That's what he's got. Oh yeah, there was a trim on the pistol. The pistol hand. There was like a piece of trim on the gauntlet. There we go. There we go. Oh, I guess we have to do the backpack as well. We literally just talked about this. Focus. Get your head in the game, Dubois. God damn. This is embarrassing. Oh, by the way, if you guys are watching this, please give the video a like if you if you want to do this for me. That would be appreciated. It helps other people find this this live stream while we're streaming. And if you enjoy these painting thingies, consider subscribing to the channel. We are closing in on 1,000. I think we were at 980 this morning or something like that. 975 or so. Like we're in like the 20 something range of subscriber to hit 1,000. So that's cool. I don't think it does anything, but it's a cool number, And then even though we painted the Magnus for my buddy Mike already, I'm very tempted to go purchase a Magnus once we hit the 1,000, just to have a 1,000 Suns, 1,000 subscriber stream. And if I was like a really big baller, I would maybe give it away. Just do it like a Magnus giveaway. That would be a cool idea. Although last mini I did that with, I gave it to like one of my buddies that runs like a bunch of things. Like he's the head of a couple of things. I was like, hey man, I do this for like a fundraising thing, so you can like give it away or whatever. And he never did, so like that's really great, Like for me, it doesn't matter too much because like I was giving this mini away, so it was like a bust. I gave the bust away, that was like painted and all. So for me, it changes nothing to like my bank account or anything, but like I just thought it was like wacky. I could do that. I didn't think about that, Philip. I could do the problem with the showcase videos is like I like doing them, but they don't get that many views. So that's like a bummer, But I definitely could do that. Yeah, it was a sweet army. It was a fun army to paint. That's kind of arc. Yeah, it was. I was not. Whatever, man. It's like it's one of those things of like, well, now we know, and then that guy is like, not like blacklisted, but at least now we know not to do this. I like but I'll do the showcase thing. I like it because I do videos because people ask me really. So we'll do it. It's just you have to ask for them because I'm not gonna make them because they get like less clicks than a lot of the others. So I won't. But if you guys like because like you watch most of the videos, you're here on the chat, so I'll make that video for sure. It's just I would not do it otherwise, is what I'm saying. But I have no problem making it. I make all the videos based on like questions. So can you make a showcase video for the 1,000 Suns is a question. We'll make it. You know what I mean? Like there's no. Yeah, whoever painted the silver here did a really poor job. Dang. It was me all along, chat. It was I that painted the silver and did a piss poor job. Okay. The main problem with the contrast thing is like unlike this is a fun I don't know if I can edit these things into other. But the main issue with like using the speed paint thing as like regular silver is that it does the opposite of what you usually do, which is these contrast paint, they're really good at going into the recesses. And usually when you paint these like metallic things, you go, well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't cover the recess because that's what the shade's going to do afterwards. But now we're doing the thing, we're doing like the base coat on the silver and it's covering all the recesses really nice. But the raised areas are the ones that are not silver. And then we can't just go, well, we'll just do a wash and that will take care of it. Because the wash is going to do the exact same thing as our speed paint. So I found that that's the one drawback from using the speed paint in this like capacity is that you really need your base coat to be like a lot more, a lot better than the regular run of the mill. Let's just like paint silver and like almost like dry brush it, because all the nooks and crannies are going to be taken care of anyway. Now we run into the reverse problem where if the top of the surface is not painted properly, there's no salvaging it. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, because that's usually one of the shortcut that you can make when you're painting silver is like, well, the recesses I don't need to kind of do because they're going to be black anyway, and then we're going to shade this deeply, and then the deeper shade, you know. Okay, the more and more I'm leaning towards the turquoise is a good idea, because we can have kind of like a darker turquoise for the thing here and the little ponytails. Let's call them just because it's Kharn and he's a mean machine and we can bully him because he's plastic and not real. We'll call them ponytails. So we can do the ponytails in turquoise. And then the plasma we can do in like turquoise, but like a much lighter shade because it's like glowing, and maybe the eyes, same thing. So we're keeping the turquoise, but we're like getting two tones out of it. That's mildly interesting, because otherwise we do this and that in black and we get like a very drab mini. I don't know if that's the play. You guys, do we keep like super all dark or do we do light colored? I'll do a base coat on the skin, and then hopefully you guys tell me what we do here. I'm again relying on crowdsourcing these information. Because these things is like, there's no wrong choice. It's gonna give us like a different result, but there's not one that's like, this is the better way, or this way will work. This other way these are two options that we have. They're gonna produce something different. But there's not like a right or a wrong answer to this. It's just gonna change a couple of the things that we do. So if you guys have a preference, we will do that. If you guys have no preference, then I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Bap. So we'll be careful around that one little like fucking arm cable. Just because if we can avoid it and skip that one touch up, that would be great. Alright. Second option. Alright, so dark and Gertie. Perfect. Well, no funny ponytail for our buddy. Just regular old ponytails. Okay, that's okay. That's alright. I like it. Right. So this takes care of almost all of the base coat. The only kind of like base color that we're missing, well, we need the said ponytails. And let's do that right now. Let's do those the same as the cables. There's no if we're gonna do them black, we'll do the same as the cables, but we'll just like shade them deeper to get more black and less like I guess blue. Like Dark Reaper is kind of a blue color. It's like a bluish gray. There we go. Okay. I mean, and we can. I think the more as we paint this, I think the darker option is the better one. So that's a good choice here, because like we can already see, like this is not even green, and I can already see that it's kind of overtaking. So if that was like green, you would notice it instantly, and then that would not be great. Because as much as I like making fun of the little ponytails, and that Kharn has ponytails, this is not the interesting feature of this mini. So it is for me because I'm a child and I like this. This is my kind of humor, but in a sense of like this guy is a tabletop badass. That's not what we want. Right, right, right. So I'm gonna have a couple of touch-ups, but they're really minor, so that's great. Because that means we were really neat overall with our with our painting. Okay, so let's take Black Templar. Let's thin this down a little bit, and then we'll do all of the silver to get started. All the silver and all the gray, like the gray like vents that we just did. We'll do all of that with Black Templar that's thinned down. And this is actually a goner. Maybe we do that with Null Oil because I can't find my Black Templar. How about that? Well, Null Oil it is, folks. And then we can... I have some other... somewhere else, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, so let's start bottom and then work our way up, I guess. There's no... Oh, here it should be a third. Oh, this is an interesting... Is there a trim? Yes. Oh, so we're missing... Okay, well, that's okay. We notice it now. So we have one gold. Let's put this somewhere that we can see it so that we're reminded to fix it. And then, because in the last like kind of I guess details to do are going to be the glowy bits like the eyes and the plasma pistol, and then also do the skulls because this guy is like carrying a couple of skulls. You know, not like a lot, but not zero. Let's not put this like in the frame. We don't need to see this. sister. I can't get it. Oh, get away. Okay, yeah, this is good. And on the silver areas, we can be like pretty generous with it, because it works. Okay. And then the axe, we have to be careful. Like, so we want to do the, like all the silver, of course, but we also want to be careful about the inside here, because ideally we don't want too much of the black to like seep into the gold area. Because like having a different shade on them is what really sets these metallics apart. Like, even though one is like gray, one is the yellow. Having like a different shade on them and shading them a different color really is what brings out the uniqueness of them. Because we like wasted time painting the inside of this axe, so we want that to stand out. We don't want to blend it in so that nobody notices. Otherwise, we would have just painted the whole freaking thing silver if we didn't want people to kind of like notice that there was something like interesting in there. So like because we're keeping all these colors kind of dark and in the same like palette, like there's a lot of the same gold across the mini, there's a lot of the same silver. It's not gonna really stand out, but you're gonna be able to tell that it's there. So like, you're not gonna stare at this and instantly see, oh, the inside of the axe is painted in this fashion. That's not what's gonna happen. But once you look at it, you're gonna know instantly. You don't have to look at it like in detail and go, oh, look at this. Yeah, I didn't notice it. No, you will know. So sometimes you have to do a couple of these things on purpose. Like, as much as some of this is just like kind of artsy fartsy and we just do things because we do them, some of this stuff is actually worth like putting a little bit of thought into it. And this was one of those. The face situation and the little like ponytails we're probably gonna have to touch up, because with the heavy paint that was on the mini at the beginning, details are a little bit messy. So I'm gonna have to take like a second look and a second pass at this. That's okay. It's one of the drawbacks of this mini being caked a little bit when we got it. It's not the end of the world. It's just it requires special treatment. Like the kids that rode the short bus to school. It's just not bad. It's just different. Okay, I think we're all shaded out. Maybe the bottom of this pile of chains is not done. Ouch. Bumped into the desk pretty. Okay, we're starting to get there. We are getting there. And next up, I thought, wait, there's the one bicep cable. We have to do that one. Right. So yeah, I think we'll do a highlight on our on the bare arm. You know. Do we have like Cadian flesh tone? Yes, yes we do. Cadian. So Bugman's Glow and Cadian flesh tone is such a good combo. It does all that you want it to do. It just works. Boop. And we're gonna be, we could do this in multiple passes. We'll do one kind of a heavier pass, and then we'll reassess if we want more highlights, less highlights, or just the right amount. It's just a question of like how smooth do you want this to be? Because if we do multiple passes, it's gonna be way smoother, but it's also gonna take us like a lot more time for. It kind of makes sense, right? So that's a you decision. You have to decide how much trouble you want to give yourself, right? Right now we're leaning into kind of a happy medium of like just enough trouble that it's like it's smooth and it's looking like good, well done, but not enough to say like, oh, this is like perfect and flawless and stuff. Just did they give him like an extra sleeve? Didn't he used to have like both arms? Like a sleeveless armor on both arms, or was he always just the one, that one, and then the pistol hand was always like enclosed? To me, that's like a downgrade. It's not Nipple's armor level of downgrade, but it's still. I wish he was like jacked and sleeveless. Like if you're gonna rock the sleeveless, you gotta have like no sleeve, not one sleeve. That's what are you doing, bud? As the Macho Man never taught you a thing about sleeveless. That was the one, right? That was the one with the sleeveless, the Macho Man. Right. I'm rusty on my wrestling. Now we'll just add like an extra. This is Kislev flesh. It's like super light. And we could do a Cadian in white as well. There's no no shame about that. But now that we know that there's only one arm, this guy's slacking in the sleeveless department, we're not even gonna dignify, Okay, next up we'll use our good old Agrok Search Shade, everybody's favorite. Well, I don't know if it's your favorite, but it's my favorite. And we are gonna paint all of that gold. We're gonna give this a good shade. And then we'll consider doing the skin tone with this as well. So usually I'm a pretty big advocate for shade it like you mean it and put that bitch heavy. But because our model has like a heavy set of paint on it, like heavy coats of paint, we cannot afford to do that because then we'll just like obscure all the details. So we can't be too loosey goosey with this. Like you can see in the solar panels already, like you can't tell. Like you can't tell that these were once like skulls with actual details on them already. So the shade will bring out some of it back, but if we go too heavy with it, it's just gonna mask it off even more, and it's gonna just make it worse. So we'll just take our time and we'll go like one surface at a time. That one will need retouch. This piece that I'm painting right now is not really well done. That speed paint plus null oil is actually, I'm pretty happy that I didn't find the Black Templar, because it's already like way dark. And if we went with the dark the Black Templar contrast paint for our shading, it would be like super dark. Um, yeah, it would probably be way too dark. It would require a lot more effort. Like we would need to do a whole lot of touching up and re-highlighting, I think. So this is one of those like happy little accidents, like the Bob Ross guy, right? Where oh the pot I wanted to use was empty because I used it all on the Sisters of Battle last week. Good news, because the replacement pot is actually a way better, way better decision. It's like that golfer recently that like hit a hole in one, and then when he was talking about it, he said, "Well, I used this club because I couldn't find the club that I wanted in my little thing, and so I used that one." So and then the guy just like he used a club that he didn't originally want, but I got a hole in one. Thought it was that's a fun little, like, that's a fun way of being wrong. And already you can see like here with the shading, like all the mouth like on the coin symbol is starting to pop out, and that's really cool. That's really what we want out of this. And on the skin we'll do one like even coat. We're not doing like a full heavy set. We just want to get like some extra depth to it. So we're still gonna do some shading with the rocks, but not an insane amount. Oh, we forgot to do I say we again, but it's me. We've got to do this part here. So we're gonna have to come back with this. Okay, this mini is actually starting to look pretty cool, and the more we painted, the more I don't like the sand-colored base, and the more I think gray is going to be our best bet here. Because our model is like way too dark for this like super light base. If we went with like a very vibrant red, that would be probably a better. I bet the sand base would make a lot more sense. But since we're going with like we have a very dark scheme, and with like dark silver and darker gold, then I think the sand color sand is not good. We still have time to think about it. We don't need to commit to a decision just yet, so it doesn't matter. If you guys watched any of these streams, you guys know I changed my mind like 16 times in the process of painting. Like, I don't commit to any hard plans really when we're painting anything. I'd share like a loose idea, and then we see where the where the mini takes us. Like this guy, my idea was like we keep the red and we use this brass color that I like for the gold, and then whatever happens, happens. And so here we are now. We don't have any. We don't have like any ulterior motive with this except let's see how it goes and make it look cool. Speaking of, I think we're all trimmed out. Oh, this one here looks like it's a little. Okay. All right. So now let's do. Yeah, this guy is pretty fucking cool. I like this mini. I don't think I've painted this Kharn model. Only the old one. The flat sculpt. Right. I like this. I think it's gonna. First of all, I think it looks good, and second of all, I think it's gonna sell really well when we put it up on the eBays. Okay, well, which brings us to our next, our next thing here. Let's touch up the trim because there were two areas that we needed to redo for the trim. The first one is like the inside here. This is nasty, guys. Chat, we're in trouble. Oh well, never mind. Okay, well, we made that look easy. Let's try to keep the streak going. So we'll do this here is like oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like trying to see what I was doing, but then it's either I can't see or you can't see. So I apologize for that. I was very selfish in this one instance. I chose I could see and not you guys. So yeah, yeah. So the decisions, right? Decisions. And then we'll just do this. I noticed there's like one random pouch. I don't know what he keeps in there, but he has one. So it's like his contact lenses or something. His reading glasses. Kharn is many things, but when he signs a contract, he reads it so he can know when to break the contract and become the betrayer. So I'm gonna go with that. That's the little little pouch for his little reading glasses. That's what you need. Right. So now we'll leave this. Oh, I guess let's try. Let's work on the freaking ponytail thingy situation. So here we're gonna have to be a little bit creative because the heavy paint that was on there, it kind of ruined it for us. That's I think the only part where like these details are gone forever. Like this, look where the ponytail's kind of attached to the face. Oh, the eyes as well. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The eyes are like completely covered. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one to paint. Oh, we're gonna have a ball there. Okay. Oh wow. Oh, that's rough. I didn't notice the eyes. Oh, that is rough. Oh boy. Okay. Well, what we'll do for the eyes is we're gonna start now on the eyes because it might take us a couple of tries. Let's be honest here. It might take us a couple of tries to get something decent going. Because there's nothing going on. Like it's flat, completely flat. Oh my! Oh, that's bad. Oh boy. Okay, that's okay. Hey, that's okay. Okay, so our first strategy is called paint that bitch black. So we're gonna just like shape, the shape. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. The shape of both eyes. Now we've painted black entirely, so that we're gonna literally we have to draw them on. Like we have to draw, like you know these girls that draw on their eyebrows. The same thing. Okay, same fight. And if they can, we can. Okay. That's what we're focusing on, right? We're gonna watch a couple of DIY makeup things on the YouTube, and we're gonna nail this. Nail this. Okay, famous last words. This can't be this hard. I found a tutorial on YouTube. Famous last words. Okay. Speaking of tutorials, if you follow this channel, you can find a bunch of easy to follow tutorials. See what I did there? A little promotion. Shamelessly promoting the channel. Yeah, I did that. All right. Okay, enough fucking around, Max. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take our null Black Legion. Yeah, let's take our null oil again, and we're gonna just give the ponytails and the axe thingamabob another shade on them, because I would like them to be darker. Like these ones I think are too light for their own good. I would like them to be a little more black. So we could do this with like actual black paint and kind of like blend it in. But I think a second coat of null oil is going to do the trick for us. And we'll give this like a minute to dry, and then we'll revisit. Next we can take our Garox and touch up the one trim that we did redo. And the one on the axe here. That one and that one here. Okay. All right, we're in a pretty good place right now. This mini is pretty cool, honestly. I like where we're going with this. It didn't take us too much time to get there as well. So, you know, we've lived through the Trim City. Yay us. Now next, let's add. Oh, there's like, I don't know if you guys can see. There's like one red spot on the axe. It's really, but like inside here. Oh, it's really frustrating. Let's add a little bit of zizz to the silver parts. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a bead and a brush, and we're gonna just give it like a quick dry brush with. We're gonna use lead belcher. I don't want to use like a silver that's too light because our silver is very dark right now. So if we use like a silver that's like super light, it's gonna be like really aggressive. So we don't. We'll we just want to have some more kind of highlights. And like these areas, like the chains, is kind of like premium dry brush real estate because they're full of texture. So it just works for us really, really well. And hopefully, what it will do is we'll bring out all of that details. Like it will break apart each of these like kind of a like link of the chain. So that's the idea anyway. Hopefully it works out in that way. I guess it's what physics said should happen, but you know. There we go. Okay. So this is not really not like a big thing, but you can see it almost immediately. Whereas all of these like raised areas now have like a lot more shine to them. So you know this step was like very easy to do, right? There was no like we used this fucking look at the size of this guy, right? So that was really not a complex step, but definitely paid a lot for like the effort and time it took us. The result is great. So. I think that was a good choice. That was a good choice. This trim here does not look like it's done, so maybe we give it like another agroxing. That like the top part, like the part where the armor gets like to the sleeveless section. Because if we can get some sort of like cheater's black lining there, that's gonna be like massive. Yeah. Because that we want like that, yeah. Oh yes. So we want like that clean break between the gold and the skin tone, like that line there is money. Money. So I like that. And then next up, okay. Well, maybe we switch up to like a smaller brush and then we try to play with the eyes a little bit. This requires courage. I need all of y'all to believe. Okay. It works because we all believe. The collective of us believing. Okay, let's do that. Okay, sorry. Clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, what do we... I like turquoise. I'm assuming turquoise is not canon. We can do green, though. Yeah, green's like... Let's do the classic Elfire green here. Switch to like this small, super small brush. Alright, so this might take us a couple of tries because again, reminder, The eyes are inexistent. Like we're literally drawing them on. Okay, they're like they're fully gone here. So I want to get the kind of like a V shape, like a yeah, I want to get like a triangle shape basically in there. Because I don't want to I don't want to do this for like a million years. I want to the goal. I think the goal is to make it so that you don't really notice that the eyes are gone. So we don't want to draw too much attention to it, but we also don't want to just like leave them black, because that would be a little bit too reductive, I guess. So like I think there has to be like a happy medium that we find in this eyes thing, because it's not there, right? If they were there, then it would be kind of easier to navigate, because we could just go, well, the eyes are there, so that's what we do. Let's keep it light on the glow. Like I don't want to do all the glowy. Like I don't want this model to be like super glowy, right? Because we could do like glowy eyes, a glowy axe, and like I think we're just gonna keep this dark and broody. That was the kind of the decision that we made earlier on, so we will abide by this decision. Now, chat, if you guys are like watching and you have some input, we now we have to kind of like commit to a base color. So do we keep the same? Like, well, we're not keeping the. We're repainting it any way. It's just a matter of like, do we keep this kind of like color? So like, we can do sand color. We could do brown, and we can do like grayish. I think like those are our three options. We're not doing the fucking goblin green. Don't even go there. We're not doing the fucking goblin green type thing. This is not happening, okay? This is not one of those. But all the other color options are kind of open to us. So if anybody has like any thing that they would maybe like or think would look better than the others, I'm listening. Okay, let's add this yellow dot to the eyes. That should kind of like settle in the effect. Not too shabby, and then we can add a little bit on the plasma pistol, just because I like it, but it's not, even though we're not going for like a super glowy thing, we can, we want some glow. That's the point of the whole thing. Okay. All right. We got a cool Kharn. So again, I'm not too convinced on this super light color for the base. So I'm leaning towards a much darker color. I think even with the darker, it will also like showcase the plasma pistol even more, which I kind of like. 'Cause I think it turned out good. Um, huh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, maybe we reuse this Dark Reaper thing. And then we get like the Dark Reaper going on the base, and then we have like a very uniform, and then the red should stand out because we're keeping all the colors kind of the same except for that red, and then the other colors are like a little bit. Oh, I like that. Okay, I like that idea. Okay, so we're gonna use our big trashy brush here again, and then we're gonna go for Le Black Légion. Yeah, it's French. It's a very artistic. Not autistic, artistic. Yeah, it's different. It's kind of the same, but it's not. You know what I mean? And I would know because I am one or both of these things. Okay. We're not gonna waste too much time here. So we're not wasting too much time, but I do need to be careful. I don't want to fuck up the foot or whatnot. Like, we're so close to the finish line now is not the time to fuck up the paint job, right? So even though this is like a big bold step that doesn't look like much, you do want to be somewhat careful about what you're doing. Okay. And also we do need to be like very thorough with this black, because if the let's call it yellow, the color it was on there previously, right, was kind of yellow. We wanna if this pops through, we're kind of fucked because it's gonna stick out from our final result. So we want to be as thorough as possible with this black here. Okay. And then, because otherwise it would be like very... Oh wait, we have all the skulls to do as well. So never mind what I was just about to say. Let's paint some skulls, people. Let's do... Alright, let's do this for skull. This is a very niche combo. Nobody does this. I like it a lot, actually. So it's Storm Vermin Fur. And then Iron Rack Skin. And then this for skull. It looks weird, but it works. This is more the grim dark kind of skull. You're not gonna get because Games Workshop, they do them like with the yellow / orange like bone color, whereas these ones are more into the gray, the gray and white looks. So this is a much more like realistic color, whereas the Games Workshop one have a lot of like the John Blanche vibe to them, like the sepia tint to them. And so yeah, I like obviously I like my way better. That's why I do my way. But there's no, you know, if you guys if you want the John Blanche vibe to your mini and you like that, go for it. No more power to you. And if we made a mini that the sand was like more yellow, then I would like that approach as well. The Games Workshop color, because then we get to fit in more of that color in our model, and that keeps the painting scheme very tight. And of course, you guys know how I feel about things being tight. Giggity. All right. Right. So that looks pretty good. I don't think there's any more, right? There's this one, and then the two in the front. And then these here we decided not to do in the skull-colored skulls. So we're good to go. So now we're going to add our iron rack skin. We can mix it. This is another, it's like the skin color. If you want, you can mix it and get like an in-between color. You can thin this down, get like a really smooth thing. This is really kind of a pick your poison type of thing, where you can do 2 passes, you can do 17. This is up to you and the result and the smoothness that you desire. I think we can get away with a lot here with this color combo, and then a small shading with like touches of like white or off-white. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then we'll just use this, and we'll just do very like kind of fine highlights, I guess. See how we like this if we want to add some white to it. And it looks like on the skulls the paint was not super super thick already, so we're kind of lucky that I think we can put on a shade without like damaging the final, because that's the drawback of like heavy paints and shade don't really work together, because the shades kind of pool into the recesses, but the heavy paint is also what it does. It covers these recesses, so that's why it's not working so well. I'm gonna give the skulls a second to dry here. I'm gonna go just like 30 seconds to just get like some static grass options, because the base otherwise is gonna be a little bit too boring. So we're gonna find some color to make it pop a little bit. So give me 30 seconds at tops. See, it wasn't even 30 seconds. So we got plenty of options. So we're going. This is a gamer's grass like option. Dry tufts is nice. Doesn't really fit our Okay, so now here we're talking. This one brown. That's a fun one. But I'm leaning towards kind of a greens. So we got these 3, and then these ones are kind of nice as well, with the reddish color to them. And then this one and this one look eerily similar. This one a little bit darker. It's got like the brown tone to it. And then the yellow ones I'm not too inclined. This is brown. This one and this one are the same. So this is brown 4 millimeters. We could use that one. This is good. The drawback of using something with red is that the goal that we're doing is to kind of make the base not red so that our red stands out. So if we add tufts that are red, we're kind of defeating the purpose. So I'm leaning not towards these two. And same thing, probably not this one because it's got the red undertone. So we're gonna keep all these, put them aside. And I think this is the cool one for us. I kind of like that one. This one here is like just very weird. Very weird. And these ones are like really, really green. So I think we're going to go with this one. I have no fucking clue what it is. It just looks good. That's how we do things, right? We just pick whatever looks cool and then... There we go. Fighting for my life here, boys. Yeah, I think okay. I'm on board with this. I think it's gonna look nice. This again, I might change my mind. We're gonna keep this on the side, but I might change my mind once we do the dry brushes and whatnot. Maybe it doesn't come out right at all. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. First, let's do a little shaderoo on the skulls that we just did. And this will just pick out the teeth and the eyes and the nose. We don't even need to do it on the whole shtick, really. I'll just do it. And then we'll pick out the silver and we'll just touch up the kind of the joint where like the skull is like fixed to the chain or whatever. And that's going to be kind of the last step that we need on the miniature itself. So let's give the oh look, the base is like it's kind of like crackling a little bit. So maybe we do the dry brush and then we add like a shade to kind of like really get the nooks and crannies to a darker, you know, a darker color. So we're gonna use another trashed up. Oh boy. Oh, this is trashed, all right. Yeah, this brush here, you know, it did all of the Sisters of Battle in its entirety, so we're proud of it. Or almost, and then he did a bunch of Knights as well last week, so. We're just gonna give it a try for the bases, because bases don't require a whole lot of like precision and whatnot, so. As long as it's not too trashed, it should work. Yeah, it should work. And if it doesn't, it's going to become a glue brush, right? The brush that we use for white glue and whatnot. So where's our... There it is. Dark Reaper color. So we're going to dry brush with this first. Okay, I don't think this brush is going to work at all. Okay, this is not. Okay. Trash can. Kobe. I missed it by like a mile, by the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we got one. Okay. Yeah, so what I like about this color is that we have this color on the miniature already, right? Because all of our cables and stuff are done with this kind of a color combo, which is Dark Reaper and then some black. It's done differently, obviously, but that color combo is on our mini. So this really just makes the mini pop even more, because the colors that are not the muted ones are really popping off. Okay, okay. Now we're gonna give this like a kind of a second dry brush coat. And the reason why I was not too anal about like fixing the pieces where we could see a little bit of the yellow is because that's where we can put our tuft of grass, right? So even if the base is not like perfect, that's where we stick the yellow. The where the base is not fully done, that's where we stick the tufts of grass. Sorry. And then we can do one more highlight with this, and I don't want to go too, because this is still pretty like monotone. So we're gonna add a little bit more, but I don't want to go too light because that would defeat the purpose of this basing like idea. Because we wanted to remove the yellow because it was a light color. So if we dry brush like super light colors on top of this, then we're like, what are we doing? So we'll just do like a. This is a light color, but we're also dry brushing very lightly, so we're not getting like a lot of it. And this is almost like a kind of a moon color. So I like this. I'm happy with this because it gives a like it makes the Kharn guy pops a lot. Like right, like our big red guy on top of this dark scheme and dark gold and like burnished gold really dark. So like I like where this is going. I can see this like being a full army and looking good, you know. So next up we have 2 steps to go. First we'll remove the little butt plug for a quick second, and we'll get this here. And then the first thing is I noticed that the texture whatever was like kind of creeping up on the sides here, so we're gonna just because that's another thing is like as much as I preach for like painting the rims of the bases in like a flat uniform color, if your basing material is like overlapping on the base, I always find that like super disgusting. Like this is one of the easiest thing that you can do to clean up your like literally clean up your act. Oops. He says throwing the mini around. Because if it's like full of like this texture and bumps and whatnot, even though you're doing like a clean paint job, it's gonna look all bumpy and thick because you're like putting on so much. Because there's already like texture, so you're just like kind of like building up the texture, and it looks. I think it looks really sloppy. I think it's one of the cardinal sins. Oh, there's a bunch of magnets on this bait. That's cool. Didn't even notice. So that was part 1, and then part 2 is obviously going to be to glue the little tufts of grass. So we can be pretty loosey goosey about this. I still like this color choice. So the first one that we're going to put is here right next to the foot, and that's because the rock that Kharn is on was not glued on like super flat, and there was a little gap. So now we use this to cover up the gap. Mind the gap, you know. Okay. And then the second part is going to be to mask off any detail that we do not like. So for example, like here, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's like it's poorly done, so we're going to put a little tuft of grass right there. Come on, little buddy. There we go. And then I think these 2 is mighty fun. Maybe if you do, is there like a super small one? Yes. Boop. There we go. So now we have like, you know, and it's not, you know, it's not overtaking anything. It's not dark enough. It's not light enough that you notice only that. It's not super green that it just adds a little bit to the overall look. So I'm very happy with these little tufts. Even though I looked confident when I picked them, I wasn't too too sure about this. It's always kind of a guess. You know, it's an educated guess. Like I've done bases in the past. I know how it's supposed to look. Oh, and just in time too, because the gloves are being ripped by my strong, manly hands, I guess, or because they're super cheap gloves. Pick whichever answer you desire. And now what's important with this good old rim job here is to go really up to the side of the base. That way we kind of cover all the part that we scraped up. I could remove the glove, by the way, but it's just, we're like so close to being done. Feels pointless to... Okay, so I'm happy with this. I think we're good to go. We'll give this guy a final look-see. But overall, that was a pretty good, pretty good use of our time here. We got a pretty banging mini out of this Kharn that looked sort of hopeless when we began, you know. And yet now we have a cool-looking Kharn the Betrayer. You know, ready to betray you into playing World Eaters, I guess. It's like a good trick. So yeah, pretty happy about this. We're gonna probably need a second coat here. The black is not like really shining through, but that's, yeah, you guys don't need to see this. We'll just add the second coat later on. It doesn't matter. The detail that's the most like kind of frustrating for me is the mouth. Maybe I fix that later on because it's very like lackluster, but also because the eyes are like non-existent, I don't want to draw too much attention to the face. But maybe like it does look incomplete. So incomplete is not like a good, you know, it's not like a good descriptive of your mini. You don't want to, that should not be a word that you use. It looks incomplete is bad. So we'll just give this a quick, I think just one coat of null oil, once it dries, it's gonna make the lines like you know, the bunch of lines here stand out a little bit more, and that should be enough. I'll revisit this aspect later on. I'm happy with this mini. It didn't take us too long. So yeah, so see you guys next week. I don't know what projects we're working on, but we'll figure that out. And yeah, thank you for being with me here. Again, if you enjoyed these live streams or just want to support me, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. You guys are great. And we'll see you in the next one. Till then, no excuses. Hobby like champions. Have a good day.